The story of 50 Cent sounds like something straight out of a movie, but this story is 100% real. Yes, 50 Cent was shot 9 times, in both legs, his chest, his jaw, his arm, and his hands. And he still survived. So the question is, why did this happen? Why was 50 Cent shot? Who were the people involved behind it? You will learn all of that in this video today. Before the shooting happened, 50 Cent was just a young man struggling to survive on the streets of South Jamaica, Queens, in New York City. In the 1980s, the United States was experiencing a crack cocaine epidemic. At that time, 50 Cent was still just a young boy. By the time he turned 12 years old, he had already entered street life and became involved in the drug trade. At that point, hip-hop was not his priority. In fact, he probably didn't even know what hip-hop was. He was simply trying to hustle and survive to get his next meal. During his childhood, 50 Cent never had parental guidance. His mother died when he was very young, and he never saw his father. Because he didn't have parents, the drug dealers in his neighborhood became his role models. They were active in South Jamaica at the time. One of the biggest names among them was Kenneth McGriff, also known as Supreme. This man plays a very important role in the entire story. Supreme was the drug kingpin of South Jamaica, and the entire neighborhood feared him. 50 Cent idolized Supreme and wanted to become like him. Supreme was one of the powerful street figures people hoped to work with if they ever got the chance. Supreme had his own crew called the Supreme Team, which he ran like a fully organized company. Their main product was cocaine, and most of their customers were in South Jamaica. One of their unique selling points was that if someone placed an order, it would be delivered within 24 hours. At one point, the Supreme Team was making about $2,000 per day from their operations. This group wasn't as massive as the empire of Pablo Escobar, but it was still very powerful. Over time, the Supreme Team grew even bigger. Some of its members were extremely dangerous, and a few were even murderers. One member of this crew was Black Just, who was very close to 50 Cent. 50 Cent treated him like a brother. Later, Black Just began taking care of 50 Cent. He even bought him his first motorcycle and helped him join a gym so he could become a boxer. However, during this time, 50 Cent started becoming interested in hip-hop music. He would go to a friend's house to record songs, and slowly he began focusing fully on music. In 1996, one of 50 Cent's friends introduced him to Jam Master Jay. Jam Master Jay taught him many things, including how to create a song hook, how to produce a hit record. Meanwhile, Supreme also began taking an interest in hip-hop. In 1987, Supreme was arrested, and in 1989 he was sentenced to 12 years in prison. However, he was released on parole in 1994. After leaving prison, he witnessed the golden age of hip-hop and became very attracted to the culture and lifestyle. He decided he would not return to the drug trade and instead reinvent himself as a hip-hop artist. Later, Supreme partnered with Murder Inc. Records, one of the biggest music labels of that time. Run by Irv Gotti, one of the major rappers on that label was Ja Rule, who would later become 50 Cent's biggest rival. In 1999, an incident occurred that sparked the beginning of their feud. During the filming of one of Ja Rule's music videos, a man snatched Ja Rule's chain because Ja Rule had been involved with that man's girlfriend. Later, Supreme used his street connections to get the chain back. A few months later, Ja Rule saw that same man in a club talking to someone else, and that person was 50 Cent. Ja Rule believed that 50 Cent was also involved in the robbery. In reality, 50 Cent was just talking to the man because he already knew him. From that moment on, the feud between 50 Cent and Ja Rule began. At that time, Ja Rule was already a major rap star, while 50 Cent was still just an underground rapper. As time passed, their rivalry escalated. 50 Cent released a diss track called Your Life's on the Line. In the music video for that track, 50 Cent wore the same chain he had taken from Ja Rule during a fight. Later, Supreme collected the chain and returned it to Ja Rule. After that, several fights occurred between the two sides. Then came May 24, 2000. 50 Cent was sitting in a car outside his grandmother's house. Suddenly, another car pulled up. A man stepped out of the car and fired 9 shots at 50 Cent. The bullets hit his jaw, chest, arms, hands, legs. He spent 13 days in the hospital, but incredibly, he survived. The man who shot him was Darryl Baum, who had previously worked as a bodyguard for Mike Tyson. According to investigations, Supreme had hired him to carry out the attack. Later, in 2001, Supreme was convicted. If you have heard 50 Cent's famous song Many Men Wish Death, you might already know what happened after that attack. This was the full story of 50 Cent. However, the feud between 50 Cent and Ja Rule did not end there. It continued for many years. Later, Eminem also became involved in the conflict and released diss tracks targeting Ja Rule.